Nation of Fit in 10, it is day 56, and we've got 2 weeks to go. And I'm going to encourage you to keep the pedal to the metal, or at least close to. Stay focused, stay positive, and keep moving forward. We got 14 days to go, and I know that may not seem like a lot, but it is 1/5, as I've mentioned before, and a lot can happen. Remember, this challenge is only 70 days, and a lot can happen in 70 days. It's just about the accumulation of one day in front of the other. Regardless of what's happened in your past, regardless of what you've done, it's never too late to start. Okay, so I'm speaking to all of you out there. If you feel like you've fallen off track, if you feel like, what's the point? A lot can happen in 2 weeks. Okay, so it's never too late to stand up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. All right, I made a little list here because I didn't really, I just thought I'd make a list for habits for better recovery, okay? Now, this could be more specific depending on specifically what kind of recovery we're talking about. In general here, I'm talking about recovery for your nervous system, more specifically really your skeletal muscular system, okay, your muscles on your body. And of course, some things that are gonna help you with productive training in general, physical training. All right, so number one, and these are not in any particular order, okay? However, the first one is super important. They're all important. Go to bed early. Get to bed early. Chances are, if you go to bed early, you will sleep better. You'll have a more restful sleep, and you're gonna fall more in line with your circadian rhythm. Okay, so you're gonna have a much better quality sleep. Number two, have a relaxation protocol. So before you go to bed, a couple hours before bed, do things like maybe take a shower, stay away from blue light or light in general. Don't engage in anything that's going to be stressful. Read, do something that helps you to relax. Okay, stay away from work. All right, don't do any physical activity. Avoid any altercations, okay? Number three, I know you've heard me say this, but I cannot stress it enough. Eat real whole food. Get as much bang for your buck out of food as you can. Number four, get enough calories. Your body can only recover on, based on the amount of fuel that's given. Okay, you need fuel not just to do, but you need fuel for your body to do all the stuff that it needs to do in order to have effective recovery, okay, and efficient recovery for that matter. So, as I've said before, enough calories, and number five, get enough protein. Okay, enough calories and enough protein. This is really, really important. Again, happy medium. Even with weight loss, happy medium. Now, obviously, if you're going for weight loss, this is going to detract from your recovery to some degree. Weight loss is an added stress on the body. But always think happy medium, and the slower you go within reason, the better off you're going to be. So I'll say it again. 3 major things here that I just went through. Real whole food with enough calories, with enough protein. Quality protein too. We want those essential amino acids. Not all protein sources are equal. Not even close. Number 6, supplement with, and there's more we could add to this, but I think this would be really good. Supplement with a whey protein. Okay, if you have whey. Okay, if you don't, if you're vegan or whatever, then put in another protein powder. But if you can, go with whey specifically. With a whey protein, supplement with fish oil. Okay, in particular from oil that's derived from small sea creatures. Okay, like anchovies. Supplement with creatine monohydrate and supplement with glutamine. Okay, those 4 supplements. Whey protein, fish oil, a good quality fish oil, the one that I carry. Creatine and glutamine. And be wary too that fish oil is sensitive to light. So for example, if you go to a Costco and you see it in those capsules, it's probably, I would think, to some degree, there's probably some rancidity that's happened with it. It's probably not the same quality as it was when it was originally sourced. Number 7, take an extra day off if necessary. Okay, this doesn't mean 3 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, although sometimes that is necessary. But just take an extra day. Remember a little bit. Do you remember when I talked to you about, I was feeling a bit beaten up in the gym, and so I just told myself, you know what? Let's lay off, basically remove a set from every exercise. All right? So again, it's just this small little change that I made. And then if it's not enough, we'll go from there. Okay? Small changes. In this case, take an extra day. If you need it, take an extra day. Number 8, a massive one. I don't think you truly understand how important this is. Avoid alcohol. Okay, I'm talking about the alcohol that you drink, right? Avoid alcohol. Just don't, it's really bad. It's worse than you think. It's just that we're so conditioned to think that it's okay because it's sold in stores and people drink it regularly, but it's really not good, okay? Really, avoid it. Number 9, keep moving. Even though you're going to have rest days and maybe you're going to sleep a little bit extra, keep moving. Go for walks. Keep the body moving. Do some stretching, some mobility work. Keep moving, but keep the intensity low, okay, on these rest days. But keep moving. Don't just lie around. Number 10, maybe something you may not think about, prepare for events or training. Okay, so, maybe it's in the case of somebody who is doing these duathlons, hydrating properly or carbohydrate loading, making sure you're well rested, making sure that you have your training pre-planned if you're coming to our classes and you have to worry about that. But having a plan beforehand, right? Pre-planning for things so that the amount of damage that you cause is not, at least there is some degree of thought put behind it, okay? And you're taking certain protocols to avoid any kind of injury or exacerbated soreness, etc. Okay? All right, so that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to move on to another question here. And there's only one more question, actually. And this person writes, so I'm done for this week. I think let me just see how many I got from you guys this week. This week I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 4. 4 entries. Not really good, guys. All right. This person writes, I wonder if you could speak about BMI. Okay. So BMI, body mass index. So this is really just a ratio of your height to weight. Okay, essentially, or weight to height, however you want to look at it. Okay, it's your weight in kilos divided by your height in meters squared. Okay, it's just you could come up with another measure. You could have pounds divided by whatever. It's just a ratio. And so this was originally developed by insurance companies, I believe back in the 1930s, to assess risk. Just give us your BMI. If you have a high BMI, you're more risk, and if you've got a lower BMI, then you're at less risk. Generally speaking, that was a very simple thing. A very simple way of measuring, how much we're going to charge you for insurance, right? How much of a risk you are. But BMI does not speak for athletes very well, okay? My BMI is around 32, okay? A healthy BMI is, depending on if you're male or female, but, is somewhere in that, I think, I don't really pay attention to BMI, but I think it's somewhere around that 17 to, well, actually, let me look at a scan here. What does it say? This is for female. It gives 18.5 to 25, okay? For a male, it's probably around the same, so I'm not quite sure. Do I have another scan here for a male? Anyways, I'm 32. I know I'm class 5 obese according to that, which means, I'm a recipe for disaster. I am, but, my muscle mass is higher, okay? Am I incredibly lean? No. I'm not incredibly lean, okay? I'm around 15% body fat right now, maybe 14%, something like that. Doesn't matter. Could be leaner, for sure. But even if I'm in contest shape, I'm still a class 5 obese. I'm still, or maybe borderline class 5. I'm still really obese person. So it doesn't speak about what you're made of. All right. So if you are weight training, your BMI is going to progressively, probably, unless you're losing a lot of fat, it's probably going to get worse. Okay. Well, I guess it depends on the situation, but certainly if you're weight training and you're adding lean mass, which you probably are with weight training, then it's not helping you in what your BMI gets, calculated as. So it's really not that important. If you take the general population that doesn't exercise, yeah, this is probably a reasonable measure. Okay, but for active people, it's not. It doesn't speak about what you're made of. All right, so I wouldn't be concerned with it too much. Okay, I would be more concerned with your overall fat mass and then working on chipping away at that. Right? Okay, and we need some fat in the body, and we all function. Depends on the person. We all function at a certain body fat level. We all function best at a certain body fat level. All right, so some men function very well at 8 to 10%. Okay, that'd be a bit lean for me. I would probably function best at, I can get away with, once I start to get into the, around that 11 or 12%, that's where I start to really notice a difference in my performance. Okay. So you just got to find what works best for you, okay, and what you're happy with. Anything else I want to say on this? Not really. Listen, BMI is 100% accurate because we know definitively what your height is, we know definitively what your weight is, but it doesn't really speak on much. Your body fat percentage is an estimation. Your body fat percentage is never really known unless we really dissect you. Anything that you get, any kind of scan that you get done, hydrostatic weighing, bioelectrical impedance, DEXA, which is X-ray technology, whatever skin calipers, it's all just estimations. Okay, so, again, don't take it to heart, but it is consistent from scan to scan. But we really don't know what your body fat percentage is unless we dissected you. And it really, at the end of the day, it's just a number. It doesn't change the way you look or the way that you feel. But it is, I guess, interesting to know, right? Okay, 2 weeks to go. Let's keep our head in the game. And like I said in the beginning, if you've fallen down, let's get up, stand up tall, brush yourself off, and let's go hard for 2 weeks and prove to yourself what you can do in 2 weeks. Okay, we had the second round of scans, probably the best round of scans. Somebody said to me the other day, you always say that the best. I was talking to somebody who did a challenge a while back. This person did like, I think 3 or maybe 4 challenges. She's not doing the challenge right now, but I was just talking to her and she said, yeah, you always say that. And I'm like, no, this was really the best second round of scans we've ever had. And there was a bit of a drop off with that third scan, but let's get ourselves up and let's keep moving forward. Okay? Keep moving forward. The only way that you will lose is if you quit. That's the surest way. You will never lose in trying. Okay, as one of my messages of the day, that was one of my messages of the day some time ago, right? You'll never lose in trying. But let's get to today's message of the day. And this really applies to fat loss. Most people overestimate what they can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do in the long term. And, weight loss and weight maintenance is all about the long term. And remember, for long term, we need to be balanced. We need to be balanced. We need to be putting in things like, we need all the measures that will allow us to be, which will allow us to, follow whatever methodology as sustainably as we can. Right? So, again, in my opinion, keeping in as much a variety of food as you can makes more sense. Keeping your calories relatively high as we can while still losing weight. I mean, that's ultimately what we want, right? As many calories as we can. The more calories that you have, the more that you have to work with. And if we plateau, well, we've got lots to work with. We've got something we can pull away from. Okay, we can't add calories and lose weight. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, so we want to get away with it as much as we can. Now, we can teach the body over time to build itself to be more energy inefficient. Okay, now I'm not talking about like drastically, but there are things we can do that will build up the body's inefficiencies. Okay, obviously one of the biggest ones is to build more lean body mass. But I always want you to think long term, and I want you to think about what you're capable of, especially long term. 10 weeks is really just an introductory. All right, but a lot of people they expect 10 pounds of fat in 2 weeks or something, which is pretty crazy, and really, really not realistic. Okay, most people overestimate what they can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do in the long term. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself. For the love of God, give some gratitude. Stay in this, you guys. We got 14 days to go. And I'll put up the calendar for the scans next week, all right? 16 minutes. Wow. Talk to you later.